what's going on out there, Facebook land? Mr. Dave here in my office, and it's Sunday night. Hope you had an awesome week, y'all out there. I just want to check in and wish you guys all an awesome upcoming week. Hey man, it's Christmas time. Hope you're getting all your Christmas stuff done and that things aren't going too crazy. It is the season to be a little jolly, but a little maddening and crazy. And what I want to do is just do a little doodle here while we're, finishing out the weekend here. And I want to just try and draw up a waterfall just like from scratch with my pencil on my desk here and just see what you guys think. We'll see what happens. But picture you see right now is of a water feature that has both artificial and real mixed together. These rocks up here are artificial, all the big ones, and then the rest of them are all real rocks. And so we did a pretty darn good job of matching the color, which was kind of cool. And so it's really nice where you can mix artificial and real together. You know, you have the real thing to look at for a guide to try and figure out the color. So we were looking at these stones over here to try and determine the kind of speckled look we wanted to do. And so my camera can refocus there. Come on, refocus. There we go. And and so when you're able to use real rocks, you can really find out, from the real thing, what shapes need to be. What kind of angles do we need to have on these corners right here? You can see there's usually not a right angle too often. And that's what's good about looking at nature and really trying to, get a feel for what's going on there. And so I think that's something that we can always do more of, and that's looking at the real McCoy. I know you guys that are doing stuff, you're able to, get out there and really match the real thing really well. And I think it's because you guys are actually doing that, taking that time, and that's really, really, really cool. Looking on my little screen here, I see Juan Lopez. I'll wave back at you, buddy. And Easy Mike, that's a pretty cool name. Easy. Yo, I'm Easy Mike, man. What's up? That sounds like a really good moniker. So, back at you, Mr. Easy. And so, yeah, it's Sunday night, man, and it is Christmas time. And in the past, that's been a real hectic, stressful time for me. But nowadays, I'm just feeling really blessed. And so that is awesome. Winifred, how's it going, Winnie? God bless you too. And Indy, what's happening out there, Indy? I'm getting ready to draw a little picture here just to play around and show you how I draw stuff. Just like if we're actually going to be drawing a project, this is kind of what I'm going to be doing here real quick. Just a little quickie, and just for fun, just to show what's going on. I'm also working on a course right now that's going to show you how to do that as well. How to draw up a plan view as well as a perspective view. And that's really important because when you're doing your projects, you got to figure out what you're doing. You got to know, what you're going to do, how you're going to do it. So let's just move on here and let's check out. I'm going to switch to my picture of the drawing. It's in here somewhere. I was looking at waterfalls too, just to check out what the real thing is and what they look like. And nature really gives you some amazing, spectacular examples of what a waterfall is. Again, God makes the best waterfalls. Pretty crazy stuff over here. Really, really cool. And this is just, you just Google it and just Google waterfalls. And this is the kind of stuff that comes up, of course. The whole universe is at your fingertips. So this is the video. I actually use a film program called Filmora, and that's what I'm going to be using to put together this next course. So let's see if we can find my pictures that show some plan views, and that's what I want to try and do. Let's go down. I think I've got them in sketches, and that would be sketches. So these are just copies of a lot of the different plans and projects that I've drawn up. And let us see what we got here. Here's one. All right, so this is a plan view. This is by friend of mine, Kenny, named Kenny Judge, you can just see how when people are putting together a design idea, you can just have bubbles. Just have simple little round bubbles that people use. This is obviously a swimming pool. It's going to be 70 feet by 40 feet. That's a design. And in this particular one, they wanted to have a slide that was going to come down. And again, they're just using bubbles in this particular computer program. There's going to be a spa right here, 10 foot wide, that they have in the design. And then a water feature grotto right in here. It says dry access grotto, so we'd be able to walk in here to get into the inside of that, which is pretty wild. And so there's a lot of a potential. So this is a plan view looking from the top down. And that's what you really need, something to come up with a budget and to be able to, put something forth for people to hire you, So if you can draw up a plan view, then you can tell them what they're going to do and give them a good idea of what's going on. What's going on, Denny? What's going on, Gary? Yeah, wave back at you. So this is a plan view. Now we'll go this way, and that lines it out. And this is what I came up with for that project, was like a $43,000 budget. I don't remember actually getting the job, but you put together various aspects of it and come up with a number. And I don't know, there's a number of different ways of doing that, but that's just what I came up with on this particular job. It was a pretty big job. And so this is now moving on to a perspective drawing. This is a drawing that I did for a job which I did sell. This actually had a slide that went all the way up the bank and like 30 feet behind this whole wall of bushes, which was really cool. So you get on the slide, you take off, you don't even see where you're going, and then you do a nice turn and whip around and come in the pool. And the kids just absolutely loved it. Everybody loved it. And then there was a stairway to get up there, and inside, where's my mouse? There's my mouse. Can you see it? I don't know if you can see that. Right inside here is actually a swim-in grotto. So the whole corner of the pool was covered up with boulders right here. And I could find that picture that I could, if you had the time, I could find the picture for you. And right over here on this side, you actually had a walk-in area where you could climb into the space behind there and check it out. And so that was really, really cool. So just another example of a perspective drawing. So let us go back and see some other ones. Here's a big job, and this was a really neat job. This was a job that we ended up doing in Lakeside, California, and this thing had a killer big space inside here. You could walk around the whole structure. There's about 14 feet from the top to the bottom, and so that one was a really neat one. That's a Lakeside project. We've got videos on my YouTube channel if you want to check that out. You can see how that one came out. I like to put planters around in the pool area, so it's actually a balanced feature. It's not just one blob of one pile of rocks on the side. I like to have a lot of other stuff going on. Had a nice spa over here on the side, but this job actually ended up we ended up pulling it off real cool. It just was really cool. I'm kind of rambling around here a little bit, but here's the color version. I put color in it to give people a little bit more of an idea of where stuff's going to be. Identifying the water is really cool. And you don't need to heavily color the rest of it, because that can just pull your eyes away. So it's good to stay and just put your color when you're doing your drawings. Just put it on the rock work and keep it minimal. Don't overdo it. What's up, Curtis? Waving back at you guys. Thanks for checking in. So I'm gonna go to this job because I think I can find that one pretty quick, because I know where that one is. So it's pictures, and I'll show you how that one actually turned out, because it came out pretty good. So now I'm looking for grottos, and I know it's somewhere. Where is that thing? And I'll show you how that actually came out. Here it is, Thorin. Really super nice client. Here is the project, and this is the process a little bit. I will not bore you with endless pictures too much here, but let me find and zoom in. Here's the Shotcrete day. This should be interesting for you. And so there we go. So that's that same project, and this is shotcrete day. And you can see all the pegboard we had in there and a lot of pre-pouring. I like to pre-pour edges around the slides, the bottom of the slide, the edges of our weirs, where the waterfall starts. I like to pre-pour that with my own little mixture of concrete. And that allows for us to have all that detail work all dialed in and finished. This was a pretty big job, and got conduit in there for lighting, and so we can, be able to give people lights and stuff. So at nighttime, it's really cool. Hey, Greg, what's happening, Mr. Laban? Haven't seen you in a while. Thanks for checking in. We're going over some of the old jobs I've done and looking at some of the drawings as well as the finished work. This here is after shotcrete, that same job that we were looking at right over in the front. It's now been shotcreted. Now we waterproofed it, and I use a product called Membrane C, Miracoat Membrane C. It's a elastomeric product, so it gives and expands and contracts, and that allows the waterproofing to stay solid. Thanks, Greg. Yes, it is sweet. And really cool. I have the spa right here with some stones around it we put in there. And I always like to have a lot of different things going on. And let's see when we go. And there's my buddy Dave, who was working really hard. He was putting that together. That's a little bit of the texture of our fake rock you can see right there. And that works out pretty good, the way that pumper blows it on. And then we just take a trowel and a brush and work it down. Super simple, really. I mean, it's super, super simple. So here it is again, the shotcrete phase. And you see the area of from the other direction looking at the spa and these satellite stones. I like to put stones at various transition points where the spa meets the pool. That's a good spot for a stone. And if you have groupings, that's really cool too. In the foreground, there's another one over here. So it's, it's nice to position the stones around. So it's not just one pile of rocks on the end. So a little bit of a slideshow kind of a thing right here. So let's get you to the finished product. This is one of my favorite shots of the thing, which is this cool. So we're looking across the spa towards the feature itself, and a really nice job with we had rock work around the feature over here for the planter, and then we had this whole structure, and it's got a lot of room inside. A lot of space inside, and if I could get to an interior shot, you might be able to get a feel for that. There's some videos and stuff, but anyway, yeah, I got lots of pictures and videos of this stuff. You can take a walk through the whole project. Pretty cool. The client was very happy, and they were just going crazy over the thing, jumping off everywhere, having a good old time. Oh my gosh, yeah. It was so funny. The client said, yeah, we're going to make a rule, no jumping allowed. And that didn't last that long. He ended up telling me. It was like, yeah, it didn't last that long. We ended up, oh, here it is, over here. This is the client who told me that, there we go, here's the picture. Here he is when he said, we're not going to be jumping. That's the client way the heck up in the air jumping off this thing. Yeah, baby. Bonsai. So jumping off that thing down in the pool, having a grand old time. So yeah, people jump off these things from just about every level you can. Hey, Dan, what's happening? Thanks for checking in, buddy. And so yeah, just love making stuff. This was a job that was a lot of fun, a lot of work like they all are, but man, it's pretty crazy to take an empty piece of space and end up creating these things that you can walk in and just have a complete transformation of where you are, a sense of where you are. Yeah, a little step out here. We dug that out of the side of the pool actually, so you can walk into the pool easier than if it was farther out, and that allowed me to not have the roof hit because have it could be a little lower because you'd step down in and get into the pool, if that makes any sense. And so this is inside the grotto looking out. And this is looking to the right a little bit. So this is the inside of that same project we were talking about. Stairways going up. And now we're looking at the front of it. So pretty neat project. I like to put planters in if at all possible. You need a lot of green, you know, with our faux rock work, we can get a little out of hand and just make these giant rock quarries. And I don't know, it's a little much. I think we would be better served to pull back a little bit, maybe tone down the scale and scope of our projects and put a little bit more green area. Really get some green going. Green is good, is a good way to put it. So anyways, so yeah, you know, when you try and draw something up, you usually have a pool that's there. And so let's make a pool. We'll put a pool in here. We'll start this thing coming around. And this is just a fantasy water feature. Fantasy water feature and swimming pool. I am not a perfect artist by any means, but okay, pool. That's the pool. Now you want to have a water feature, and what I usually like to do is have the waterfall itself start my drawing. So where is this thing going to fall into the pool from the back? Let's assume that we've got, you know, a fence back there, and we've got lots and lots of room. Let's go across this way. And so we have lots of room to play with. So, okay, that's our back lot. So if we're drawing something that's going to be flying into the pool, I like to put the edge of the waterfall be one of the first things I put in there. And then I bring it down, right? So that thing's coming in. The farther this comes out, the higher that means that thing's going to be. So we want to have it fairly close to the edge of the pool, not too far out. Now we need to have some kind of an anchor boulder, right? So let's put a boulder over here, and then it comes across the side and down the tile line, all right? So we got a little tile line right here, and that feathers out right there. And so then you got your stone that's coming over this way, and this is separate from the waterfall. This is the waterfall. I like to make my things have a big anchor boulder and then have some smaller things. So this could come over here this way and also have that same coming across the deck, the edge. It's called the bond. You got your tile line right down there too. So you got your waterfall, and you'll notice this rock's bigger than that rock. It's good to have a variety of shapes. You don't want them all the exact same size. A lot of times I see faux rock work. A lot of times I'm also seeing the faux rock. It's very boxy. You know, it's just too. I mean, boxy's okay, but it's important to remember that you know, there's a lot of different shapes and stuff when it comes to our rock work. I like to get some angles coming across. So whenever you're putting your shapes in there, try and remember that. There is stratification of stone that actually has a lot of striations and stuff that go across, you know, really parallel and that kind of thing. But it's a good idea to you know, make that stuff come at an angle. Make those angles coming across and bust up those cracks, you know. And negative space, you want that negative space in there too, which is good, those shadows. So I'm just doodling here, man, just doodling away. Have the waterfall coming this way, you can have another one coming this way, a rock in the middle. So I don't know if this is making much sense to you guys out there, but an eraser is your friend. I heard a guy tell me one time. Eraser is our friend. So, and that is a waterfall right there coming in. Doom, 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 doom. Get that stuff going on. This one's coming on up across the top here. Little rocks over there. Stream bed coming over. You want to make your little stream thing come across. See, that helps, gives you a little bit of sense of where the water's coming from. Once it gets in the pool, you can make your big rings. And that really gives the illusion of a pool. So that's more of a boxy shape. Over here in our other one, we got this one with the big ones and the little one. So now we got another waterfall coming from somewhere. Let's put that one over here and just angle it a little bit. And so that's coming across. There needs to be a boulder of some kind over here. So let's make a skinny one. And a little smaller one. Rocks need to be somewhere going on all around in here. Because it's a complete water feature, right? Remember, eraser is your friend. Eraser is your friend. And this can come across. And you start to see how you can just fill in your feature. If you have a slide somewhere up here, you could have that in here. So I always wondered how do guys build their features? You know, why do you put a stone there, and how do you come up with that stuff? You know, how does your design end up being the way it is? And that's something that I haven't seen that much. So I figured just for fun, I'll put in something here, how I end up doing it anyway. And another big boulder right here. Boom. Could have a planter back in here. I like that idea. So we'll put a planter up in here. I usually just do some kind of a flax or something that has big leaves, and then I can give some color to the bottom of it. I want to put a rock here, and then we'll make a planter behind it. Eraser is your friend. So we can put some plants back in here, having it come over that side. So you're starting to see how that water feature's, you know, coming into being. See how fast that happens? It's like nothing. No big deal. There's the tile line. You've got your coping. And you get fat when you come to this corner. It gets thinner over here because it's behind the pool. And then you get fat on the side. And then narrow it up a little bit more. Maybe I can get it so you guys can see it out there. And some kind of a notice here. I love the poured in place copings. They're such a nice clean look. And so I'm going to put that in on this project. And I am holding the phone with one hand and trying to do this with the other hand. So there we go. All right, so you can see how fast you're able to put together some kind of a waterfall design for your clients. This is more of a boxy kind of a design, and remember to put those rings in your pool. That shows the water pretty easy. And then this is more of a bouldery one. It looks like, you know, there's a pile of rocks over here, and I like that, but I also like to have other stones. And for like jumping, some clients like to have a jumping rock, which is cool. So we put those in. And then you can put some facets in the rock, put some cracks. Let me get over here so you can see what I'm doing. So that sort of shows a plane. This needs some crackage. Notice I'm putting it up at an angle. I want to keep things. So this is sort of showing some planes or facets of your rocks, boulders. They're really more like boulders. They're a lot bigger than rocks. This could be, 10 feet tall. It could be 6 feet. It could be whatever you want. You're the boss of your applesauce. Shading, want to get a little shadow in there. So it looks dark. Looks like there is an inside to that. Bobby Brink, how you doing? Hope you're having a great day. Hope the lions and tigers and bears are happy and staying warm in the wet weather. Say a wave to you. Kirk Chapman, what's happening? I'm just doing a little doodle here for the folks out there, showing how I draw a waterfall. design. And I'm working on a course that I'm going to be coming out with here in a little bit. So a little bit of that going on here. So we've come up with, those who just came in, we drew up a picture that shows boulders and stuff. This is more of a square or boxy stratified kind of a feature, which some of you guys are just really, really good at. Hey, Kirk, what's up? Noticed your little message there. Victorian, I hope I said that right. How are you? Hope you had a great week. Hope you have a great week coming up. And with this thing we're doing here, I'm just showing a little bit of how I doodle up some pool designs when I'm doing a project for these faux rock kind of situations. So, and this is a fantasy pool. I just made it up out of thin air, out of thin water. So I always start, like I said, with the edge of the waterfall. You can see some of it streaking through. So I'm going to get rid of the pool edge because you don't need that anymore. So it's just Doodle City. Some of you guys who are total master drawers, and this is just not anything special, but it gets the job done. This has helped me sell jobs and get work. So I like to scatter stuff around. So let's put another rock down over on this side. Not too big because you want to be able to see people in the pool. Coming around. And so we also want to put planters in. Always like to get green. Green is good. It's good for your pocketbook and it's good for your design. You want to have color in plants. You don't want to just have it look like a rock quarry. There's enough, you got enough going on. You don't need to hammer away at that as well. This corner, this edge is looking kind of weird, so I need to change that up a little bit. And I can continue that over as a crack. On the sides, I like to put, where there's a dip in the pool, one of these, dippy doodle ends. I like to put a place for plants. And so I'm going to put some plants in there. And you could put a palm tree as well in that space. But since I have one hand, I'm going to just put a bunch of flax. And maybe we'll put some flax plants over here to flush it out a little bit more. There you go. Okay, so we got our very rough, I'm doing this with one hand, a little trickier than when I have multiple hands. The coping itself actually has there's a thickness to it. And then below that, you have the tile. So you have the tile, depending on what, there's a 6-inch classic blue tile that seemed to be everywhere from back in the 70s and 80s, I guess. Some of you guys know those trends better than I do. I'm going to pull this rock out a little bit farther so it's in the pool water more. Running out of eraser. My eraser's running out of gas. So you kind of see what we got here. We got our boulder here, our main feature right here. So it's basically a waterfall. Over here we did a sample drawing real quick of a stratified rock, the kind of stuff that you see in nature, and a lot of you guys are really good at this kind of a stonework. And with the water feature coming off, with some squaring up kind of surfaces, and that's okay. But I tend to make more boulder shaped things. So once we have this thing figured out, we got the basic shape there, then I like to come in and give it some shading. That sort of gives it a three-dimensionality, that's a word. And this is more of a cartoon kind of a technique. That's the back of that little thing there. And that's just a little shading trick. And it'll start to show depth. And I carry that over to all the stones. And that kind of shows the siding. And you can turn the page when you can turn the page. And I'm just, since I got the piece of paper taped down, I'm just running the opposite direction of those little lines. I don't know where the, come on, focus, baby, focus. So you put those in there and you can start to see it has some shading. You can also tap it and make some lines actually that imply cracks. And since it's a bouldery rock, they already are going to have, sort of a speckled or textured kind of a surface. So getting a little bit of these dots everywhere is a good thing. It gives that sense of rockiness. And we're just about done here because my battery's almost dead. All right, so real simple design. Mike, waving back at you. Mark, waving back at you. And so this is a faux rock pool design that I just doodled up real quick. And I'm sitting here at my desk up here in Alpine. And we're looking at some other projects that I did in the past. This is a big grotto we did, which is really cool. Was a really fun one. A lot of neat people, great customers, work with great companies, work with Poolscape Unlimited, Kurt Chapman's company, Gardner Pool Plastering. A lot of great guys. I've forgotten a couple there, so forgive me if I didn't mention you. So we end up with our pool design. I then color it and then come up with a budget. Once you figure out what you're going to draw, once you're going to make with your drawing, you can then come up with some budgets that people can, go ahead and digest and see if they want to run with it. So anyway, there you go, Mr. Dave on a Sunday night, and it's the end of the weekend. Just want to wish you guys all an awesome week coming up. Merry Christmas to everybody out there, and I pray God would just bless you and guide you and give you an awesome week. And if you have any issues going on in your life, if you got some struggles and you got some health issues, which I've certainly struggled with, just hope you guys hang in there. And my nose is running. Sorry. So I wish you guys would just be hanging in there with your health issues, because I've had a heck of a journey with those myself. And just keep taking it one day at a time, and I just want to wish you guys all the best for the next week coming up. If you want to learn how we do this even more, you can go to davehenderson.podia.com, davehenderson.podia.com, Podia. If you haven't gotten my book, Making Rocks, please grab a copy of it. And there's one on slides, how to build slides safely. And I'm working on a course actually right now. After I finish this video, I'm going to continue working on that. It's going to be how to build a $17,000 water feature from scratch. We're going to tell you how to do the budgets, how to figure out the budgets, how to make a design, a drawing, how to come up with the materials list, and be able to put together the whole thing so you can present it to a possible customer. Or if you're going to be wanting to build one yourself, you'd be able to find out what's involved in building a good sized little feature. And it's definitely, all built by hand. There was no shotcrete, so you're just mixing it up in a wheelbarrow and putting it on there and going at it from that direction. So, but anyway, that's coming up. So if you want to learn to do that, go to www.davehenderson.podia.com and daverhenderson.com for my blogs and some links to other stuff. Anyway, have an awesome week. God bless you guys, and pray for someone. Tell someone you love them. And be kind to yourself and others. We're here. We want to make it a good journey while we're here. Be forgiving also, and be thankful. Those are the two things I try to remember every day. So, Mr. Dave checking out. Hope you had a great weekend, and we will also hope you have a great week coming up. So, until next time, God bless you guys. We'll see you next time. Bye.